The European defence dilemma. Can Europe stand alone without the US? The world is facing a geopolitical shift, unlike any seen in recent history. A clear fracture is emerging within the Western alliance, leaving Europe at a crucial crossroads. With uncertainty looming over the future of NATO and US military presence in Europe, the pressing question remains, can Europe defend itself if America decides to withdraw? This report delves into the numbers, capabilities, and strategic realities that shape Europe's military future. Tensions between the United States and its European allies have been simmering for years, but recent developments have widened the gap. The possibility of the US opting out of NATO or significantly reducing its military presence in Europe is no longer a far-fetched scenario. If Washington pivots away from its long-standing role as Europe's security guarantor, the continent must take decisive action to fill the void. On paper, Europe's 742 million citizens dwarf the US population of 340 million. However, when it comes to military spending, the disparity is staggering. In 2023, the US allocated a record-breaking $968 billion to defense, nearly double the $457 billion spent collectively by European NATO members. Despite efforts to bolster defense budgets, Europe remains dependent on American firepower. The United States maintains a formidable military force of 1.3 million active personnel, including 84,000 stationed in Europe. By comparison, Europe's total active forces stand at 1.47 million. While the numbers seem comparable, a US withdrawal would leave Europe scrambling to recruit and train an additional 300,000 troops to maintain credible deterrence. Equipping those troops is an even bigger challenge. Europe would require at least 1,400 additional tanks, 2,000 infantry fighting vehicles, and 700 artillery pieces to match current US military capabilities. This is more than the combined firepower of France, Germany, Italy, and the UK, highlighting a critical vulnerability in European defense planning. The US Navy dominates the global stage with 11 active aircraft carriers compared to Europe's 7. In the air, the US boasts over 4,000 aircraft and 2,000 helicopters, while European nations combined have around 1,000 aircraft and 500 helicopters. Even in advanced fighter jets, Europe lags behind. The continent's air forces operate approximately 600 Eurofighter Typhoons, 300 Saab Gripen fighters, and 260 Dassault Rafales. However, the US has produced 1,100 fifth-generation F-35 Lightning II jets and nearly 200 F-22 Raptors, aircraft that currently have no European counterpart. Beyond hardware, Europe relies heavily on US intelligence, cyber warfare capabilities, and electronic warfare systems. America leads in spy planes, radar jammers, and military specialists, areas where Europe has yet to catch up. Without this technological backbone, European forces would struggle to coordinate large-scale military operations or counter emerging threats effectively. Recognizing these vulnerabilities, European leaders are pushing for a more autonomous defense strategy. Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission, has proposed a significant military spending increase of up to $843 billion over 4 years. However, this ambitious plan relies on full cooperation from all EU member states, a challenging prospect given existing economic strains and political differences. France and Germany have taken the lead in advocating for stronger European defense cooperation. Paris has long supported a European army, while Berlin has pledged to modernize its military. Yet, logistical hurdles remain. Differences in national policies, military doctrines, and procurement strategies make it difficult to achieve seamless integration across European forces. Moreover, the war in Ukraine has exposed Europe's logistical shortcomings. While European nations have provided substantial aid to Kyiv, they have struggled to replace depleted stockpiles. The conflict has underscored the need for faster production and procurement of military assets. As Europe contemplates its military future, other global powers are making their moves. India is emerging as a technological superpower, producing 1 million engineers per year, more than the United States and Europe combined. France and India are expanding their collaboration in AI, civilian nuclear energy, and environmental initiatives, signaling a shift towards diversified partnerships beyond the traditional transatlantic alliance. Meanwhile, China continues to disrupt global markets with cost-effective technological innovations, particularly in AI and defense sectors. European leaders face tough decisions on whether to embrace or restrict Chinese technology, especially in critical areas such as artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. Europe stands at a turning point. If the US scales back its military commitments, the continent must act swiftly to fortify its defenses. Increasing troop numbers, modernizing equipment, and investing in cutting-edge technology are essential steps towards strategic autonomy. However, achieving this goal requires unprecedented political unity and financial commitment from all EU nations. The coming years will determine whether Europe can emerge as a self-reliant military power or remain dependent on an increasingly unpredictable ally. One thing is certain: the world is watching. The future of global security is at stake. Should Europe increase its defense spending and reduce its dependence on the US? How should NATO adapt to these shifting dynamics? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth geopolitical analysis.